last weekend to Ball State and Ohio State. The IPFW Volleyball get ready to entertain another MIVA foe as they get ready to take on the Quincy Hawks here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Maas. Welcome once again to IPFW Volleyball. I'm joined, as always, by Ryan Perrott. And Ryan, two tough losses last week. Tonight, Quincy comes in here with a mark of 7-3.
7-3, but not a team that should be taken lightly by IPFW. They are 1-2 in conference play. They lost to Ball State last night, did the Quincy Hawks. But here's a team that could put pressure on IPFW. IPFW has played sluggishly in their last two matches against Ball State and Ohio State, so this could be a good opportunity for Quincy here tonight.
It's another example of experience against youth. They did lose in Quincy their big gun Rob Steinkuer last year, but they have four veterans returning, and they serve awfully well. What do the Dons have to do to come out with a win tonight?
Well, I think that IPFW has to get out of the blocks early. They've trailed in a lot of their matches so far this season, and they've gotten to the media timeout 15 points behind a lot. So if IPFW can get out of the blocks early, play with a lead, play with some energy and some enthusiasm, they could perhaps reverse the fortunes and put pressure on Quincy.
It looks to be an exciting match, IPFW and Quincy, and it's coming up next right here on College 56 Sports.
IPFW, this is Mike Maas along with Ryan Perrott, getting ready to call the action in tonight's men's Midwestern Intercollegiate Volleyball Association match featuring the Hawks of Quincy University and the IPFW Volleydons. This telecast of IPFW men's volleyball is brought to you in part by Pizza Hut at the Marketplace of Canterbury, featuring the After the Game buffet. Ryan Perrott, momentarily we're going to have the playing of our national anthem and the introduction of the starting lineups, but as we said a few moments ago, Quincy IPFW, a little more added meaning to this match tonight in light of what happened last year. And for those who don't know what we're talking about, last year IPFW lost to Quincy in a match for the very first time. They have an overall mark of 18-1 against the Hawks, but Quincy, a veteran ball club, as we said, they did lose their ace, Rob Steinkuer, but they have a lot of players left.
And head coach Tim Kopp has these guys ready to play this year. They are 1-2 in the conference. But this is a very scrappy team. They've always been a scrappy team, particularly this year with the experience they've had. They could put a lot of pressure on IPFW there, especially with their serving. They're a very good serving team.
Let's get ready to go to PA announcer Brian Miller for the playing of the national anthem.
Featuring the Quincy University Hawks and your IPFW Mastodons. At this time, would you please stand for the playing of the national anthem? This time, the starters for the Quincy Hawks. A 6'7" junior from Moringa, Brazil, number 1, Fernando Barreto. A 6'3" senior from Elmhurst, Illinois, number 4, James Milkert. A 6'6" freshman from Sollentuna, Stockholm, number 6, Daniel Lantz. A 6'5" senior from Hestra, Sweden, number 9, Stefan Slostrom. A 6'10" senior from Lakeville, Illinois, number 12, Paul Johnson. A 6'5" sophomore from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, number 16, Brian Terzinski. And a libero, a 5'11" junior from Kirkwood, Missouri, number 10, Jeff Pischel. Head coach of the Hawks is Tim Koth. He is assisted by Brian Pischel. And now, the starters for your IPFW Mastodons. A 6'3" freshman from Bayamon, Puerto Rico, number 1, Dennis Santiago. A 6'2" junior from Manhattan, Illinois, number 2, Ryan Staley. A 6'6" freshman from Mishawaka, Indiana, number 3, Mitch Dreisbach. A 6'4" freshman from Akron, Ohio, number 8, Nick Bellman. A 6'7" senior from Racine, Wisconsin, number 9, Josh Sanders. A 6'6" junior from Camarojo, Puerto Rico, number 12, Angel Ruiz. And in Librero Fudans, a 5'10" sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana, number 14, Dustin Sherman. Head coach of the Dons is Arnie Ball. He's assisted by Dave Schmidlin, Dennis Johnson, Lisa Horman, and Mark Franke.
Well, you've had the introduction of the starting lineups, the national anthem being played. Before we get this match started, Ryan Parada, I did notice one thing. Jeff Patak has influenced Dennis Santiago well, as evidenced by the hair color change. The old days of Jeff Patak.
A new look for Jeff Patak. Had it done about a week ago, and looks good on him, huh? Shed a couple years.
Couple? You get a look at the Quincy Hawks in their final pre-match huddle. Quincy coming into this match with a record of 7-3. They're 1-2 in MIVA play, IPFW. 500 mark both ways, 3-3 overall, 2-2 in the conference, and this is the third of a 4-game home match streak here, where last week they lost to Ball State and Ohio State. They've got Quincy here tonight, and tomorrow night, preseason MIVA favorite Lewis comes to town, and we'll see how the Flyers do. Get a look at head coach Tim Koth from Quincy. He's on one end, and Arnie Ball for IPFW on the other. We're about ready to go, and Quincy's going to begin this match with the serve. And it'll be James Milkert. Here we go. Santiago setting up Ruiz. And the Hawks dig it out. Solid kill by Brian Terzinski. Quincy gets the first point of this match.
Quincy third in the conference in digs. They're the best serving team in the MIVA conference. So far out to the 1-0 lead.
Service error, however. So it is now 1-1. And maybe that kiss of death works every now and then, Ryan.
Let's see how IPFW responds with their best server, Angel Ruiz.
With the jump serve. Defensive return by the Hawks. Let's see what the Dons do. Santiago setting up Ruiz. A good dig. Another defensive turn. Sanders gets... Oh, it's long. Thought it was in, but officials say it was long. Point Quincy.
I like that aggressive idea by Josh Sanders. Unfortunately, he just caught the ball behind his head. He sailed it long. Point Quincy.
Brian Terzinski, 6'5" sophomore out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, with the serve.
The best server on this Hawk team. Second in the conference in aces.
Third in NCAA in serve percentage as well. Santiago setting up Ruiz. And Angel puts it away. We're tied at 2. And 2-2 our score. Just underway. Game 1 of a best-of-5 match. Rally point scoring. Played at 30. First 4 games. Good kill there by Paul Johnson, and at 6'10", the senior has a lot of size that IPFW is going to have to work on.
A lot of size, but IPFW should be quite familiar with size after playing Ohio State and Ball State last weekend.
Santiago setting up Bellman. The freshman hits it wide. Now the first gap of sorts as the Hawks extend their lead by 2 to 4-2. Let's serve in play. Josh Sanders credit for the kill.
Nice shot there by Josh Sanders, catching the line. Little A set, the inside shoot ball by Dennis Santiago.
Freshman Nick Bellman to serve. And it's a service ace.
Well, it looked like it was going long and just fell off the table that time. Handcuffed the Quincy Hawk passers.
Must have been the strong wind here in the Gates Center.
Another good serve by Nick Bellman.
And this time the block attempt by Sanders and Dreisbach unsuccessful. With Stefan Solstrom getting credit for the kill. 5-4 Quincy leads. They have the serve. Daniel Lance. Service error. Ties it up at 5. And Ryan, you mentioned in the pre-match chat, extremely important for IPFW to get out of the blocks early in this match.
Yeah, you don't want to play from behind, and they've made a habit of it, it seems like, this year from playing from behind. Let's see how they can play up front.
Blocked by Ruiz and Staley. Dug out by Sanders.
Tight pass, look out.
Saved by Ruiz. They're going to say a lift. A lift on the part of IPFW, so it's point Quincy. Hawks lead 6-5. Stefan Solstrom, 6'5", senior out of Hestra, Sweden. The serve. Santiago to Ruiz, and Angel on the short set puts it away.
Angel Ruiz leads IPFW in almost every offensive statistical category. Second in the conference in kills behind Peter Ulrey out of Ohio State. Angel has 5 kills per game.
Good dig by Sherman, just wide, however. Makes our score 7-6 in favor of the visitors from Quincy, Illinois. Fernando Barreto, 6'7" junior out of Moringa, Brazil with the serve. Santiago with a bullet. Ties it up at 7, and now Ryan Staley will do the honors with the serve for the Dons. Dug out by Santiago. Dug out by Quincy. Lance's kill attempt is long. And IPFW has their first lead of the night at 8-7. Staley with the jump serve. Solid kill by Terzinski. Tied at 8.
Like the energy on the side of both IPFW and Quincy, both teams focused, ready, especially on IPFW's part. They didn't want to come out sluggish like they had been last weekend.
James Milkert serving. Santiago gets the heads-up play there. Credit for the kill. Dennis Santiago with 2 kills already early on.
The intensity level is up for IPFW. Looking good here in the early goings.
Angel Ruiz, the jump serve. 4 hits, point IPFW. And a situation there, Milkert, Johnson, and company just couldn't get the handle on it.
Good serve by Ruiz in zone 1. Serving out wide, going cross court.
10-8.
Another good serve.
Dug out by Sanders. Santiago setting up Mitch Dreisbach, and it's dug out there by Solstrom. Point Quincy.
A little off-speed shot that time, caught IPFW napping. Ball landed over the head of setter Santiago, and Mitch Dreisbach in the backcourt just missed it.
10-9 our score. IPFW on top. Brian Terzinski to serve for Quincy. Service error. Point IPFW. 11-9 to score now. Ryan, we mentioned both teams need a good start. This is almost a must-win for both teams as they want to stay in thick of the Beaver race, even though it's only an early season match.
That is true, especially with Ball State and Ohio State being undefeated. Lewis, who we'll see in here tomorrow night with one loss, that was against Ball State. So good chance here for either Quincy or IPFW to stay among the leaders.
Nice kill by Nick Bellman, the freshman. Again, the nice short set by Dennis Santiago, and I just love watching Santiago set these other players up. Service error by Bellman makes our score 12-11. IPFW with the lead, Quincy with the serve. Daniel Lance, 6'6" freshman out of Sollentuna, Stockholm, Sweden. Santiago setting up Staley. Slight miss hit by Ryan. Point, Quincy were tied at 12.
Well, you mentioned the setting between these two teams. Santiago 5th in the conference in assists, and James Milkern is 6th in the conference in assists for Quincy. So very even matchup here tonight.
Service error by Lance gives IPFW a 13-12 lead to get closer to our 15-point mandatory timeout. Josh Sanders, the senior, will serve. Good dig by Ruiz. Santiago setting up Staley. Just long. Effort was there, the execution not quite there.
A couple of hitting errors now by Ryan Staley. That time trying for the hands. Unfortunately, got error.
Solstrom, service error, point Downs. Makes the score 14-13.
Out of service errors here early for Quincy. That's expected.
Dreisbach with the service error.
Right back at you.
14 all. Quincy with the serve. And it'll be Fernando Barreto, the 6'7" junior out of Brazil. Float serve.
And a good one.
And a good solid kill by James Milkert. Sends us to our first mandatory timeout. Our score, Quincy 15, IPFW 14. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports. Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW. Mike Miles, Ryan Perrott with you. Game one of our best-of-5 match, and at the midway point, the visitors from Quincy University lead IPFW 15-14. A look at some early numbers, Ryan.
Some early numbers, perhaps not as indicative as how the play has been going on here so far this evening. IPFW 6 kills, 4 errors. They're hitting 13%. Quincy, though, as a team, 8 kills, only 1 attacking error, 44%. But it's close, 15-14 coming out of the media timeout.
Barreto serving, and Angel Ruiz with the kill. And boy, did he get up in the air.
Wow, he bounced that one into the crowd over the Harris Elementary, looks like fan club.
Tied at 15, Staley with the serve. Krasinski with the solid kill. Hawks on top, 16-15. Now James Milkert, their setter, 6'3" senior out of the Chicago suburb of Elmhurst. Nice dig, but the return is wide by Quincy, and we're tied once again at 16. The ebb is going back and forth so far, Ryan. Angel Ruiz getting ready to jump serve, 16 all time. Point to the Dons. Milkert tried to save it.
Pursuit rule in effect that time. Everything was perfect for Quincy, except the Milkert played the ball a little too far.
Another solid serve by Ruiz. Santiago setting up Angel. Nice dig there by Solstrom. Point IPFW. Credit Bellman with the kill. And the IPFW lead is 2 now at 18-16.
Great serving by Angel Ruiz, putting a lot of pressure on the Hawks receivers.
Milkert, nice block by Sanders, but the Hawks keep it alive. Santiago setting up Sanders again. This time Josh makes it count. But first you don't succeed, try again.
Good transition by the Mastodons. Josh Sanders with the back quick, easy to put it away to the floor.
19-16, IPFW on a 4-point run here. Ruiz, jump serve. Milkert, nice setup. Paul Johnson puts it away. Makes it 19-17. Hawks hanging in there.
Johnson with a high reach. Josh Sanders, who's matched up against him currently in the front row, has got to be aware of that. Keep his hands up, try to deflect or touch some balls.
Tersinski with the serve. Santiago sets up Ruiz. Angel seems to be on his game so far tonight.
5 kills thus far, 56% for Angel. He has seen a lot of balls here in game 1.
20-17 our score. Don's on top with the serve. Milkert. Nice set. Tersinski with a good kill. Brings the Hawks to within 2 at 20-18. Paul Johnson, 6'10 senior. Seems like he's been here forever, right? Serving up. Nice kill. Nice set by Santiago. And Josh Sanders.
Sanders spanking that ace set to the floor. He now has 3 kills, hitting 50%. Both Josh and Angel hit for high percentages as middles for IPFW.
Santiago with the dig. Josh Sanders with the set. Good dig that time by Lance. And Quincy come. Net violation. Quincy point IPFW.
Barreto was into the net that time, number 1.
He's in the net with the body.
For the Quincy
He's
team.
in the net with the body before the ball hits the floor.
Point IPFW.
That's my call.
Coach Ken Koff not happy with it, and he decides to call a timeout with the score 22-18 in favor of IPFW. Internationally renowned glass artist Dale Chihuly visited Fort Wayne recently as an IPFW omnibus lecturer. Mr. Chihuly is a co-founder of the Pilchuck Glass School in Stanwood, Washington, and has his work included in the collections of more than 190 museums throughout the world. Tune in Saturday, February the 23rd to see his presentation on College 56. That's Dale Chihuly at 1 and 4 p.m. Saturday, February the 23rd on your college television connection in Fort Wayne and Allen County, Channel 56. Well, the numbers are on the upswing for IPFW from when we last mentioned them, Ryan.
They have picked it up dramatically with their hitting percentage. They're now at 39%. Quincy still hitting at a very high clip, 46%. They have 1 error. Diggs, IPFW 9, Quincy 6. And there have been no blocks in the game so far, but the serving has been the story. Angel Ruiz has done a nice job at the service line for IPFW. Got IPFW over the hump now. And they have a, I wouldn't say comfortable, but they have a nice lead at 22-18.
Well, make it 22-19 is the southpaw. Brian Tersinski put that one away. Hawks trail by 3. Daniel Lance to serve. Left-handed serve.
Short serve.
Nice dig by Santiago. Double dig, so to speak. Milkert. Whoa. Set up Barreto.
Fernando Barreto, who leads the Quincy Hawks in kills at 3.5 a game. Almost put that into the balcony.
And what was a 4-point semi-comfortable lead for IPFW now down to 2 at 22-20. Santiago setting up Dreisbach. Solstrom with the kill as Sanders and Dreisbach unable to block it cleanly. And now IPFW decides to call a timeout as their lead has shrunk to 1. It's 22-21, IPFW on top. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
really wanted to go for an Indiana University business degree.
But with housing and tuition, it really adds up, and the money just wasn't there to go away to college. And with a 2-year-old, my housing options were kind of limited anyway. And the truth is, I really wanted to keep my job and stay close to home.
Going to IPFW made all of that possible.
IPFW? The best choice I ever made.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. The right school, right here, right now.
Back here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center, game 1. IPFW leading Quincy 22-21, but the Hawks have ran off 3 points in a row. And you like to talk numbers tonight, Mr. Perrott.
Well, Barreto for Quincy starting to come alive now here in game 1. He's 4th in the conference in hitting percentage, just under 50%. Angel Ruiz 9th in the conference at 42%, and Josh Sanders 18th in the conference at 35%. So when these guys get set, expect the ball to hit the floor.
Nice point there, Mitch Dreisbach, the freshman, when it's needed. Quincy had a chance to tie it. Now the lead is back up to 2 at 23-21, and the senior Josh Sanders will serve.
There's an overpass.
Dugout lift on the part of Dreisbach, I believe.
Good call by our head official, Lauren Gebert.
23-22. Stefan Solstrom with the serve for the Hawks. And when it's nut-cracking time, the Dons want to get their ace, Angel Ruiz, involved. And Mr. Santiago set him up rather nicely.
That 1-2 punch. Santiago and Ruiz, 6 kills now for Angel.
Milkert. Nice block, but a dig out by Solstrom. Point IPFW as that ball hit the antenna. And I got to say, Ryan, that ball had some heat on it from both sides of the net there.
A lot of heat. Did catch the antenna. Ball's out of bounds. I like the level of intensity IPFW is playing with. That ball's going to sail just long, but aside from that service area, they've come out ready to play volleyball here tonight against Quincy. Something we did not see last weekend against Ball State and Ohio State.
25-23 is our score. Volley Duns on top. Barreto to serve for Quincy. Santiago setting up Angel Ruiz. Barreto with the dig, but they're going to call an infraction on Quincy, and it's point IPFW. What was the infraction that they called there?
Net violation that time. Clear violation. Net was shaking up and down. Number 12, Paul Johnson, was called for.
Staley with the bullet. It is point Dons. I'm not sure that Lance realized that the ball was in play, but makes our score 27-23, and Quincy calls another timeout.
That'll count as an ace for Ryan Staley.
Learn more about Mastodon sports in season by tuning in to Mastodon Spotlight each Wednesday and Friday here on College 56. The hour starts off with yours truly, Mike Maas, reviewing the week's sports activities. We look at game footage and talk with players and coaches. That's Mastodon Spotlight, Wednesday evenings at 8:30 and Friday evenings at 9, right here on College 56. And I'm looking forward to next week's show because we're winding down the basketball seasons, and we're going to have on our program next week the head baseball coach, Billy Gernon, and the head softball coach, Keith Fisher. And I'm looking forward to the end of that program. We're going to have the duel of the dome, so to speak. And you got to tune in to see what that's all about. But that's next week on Mastodon Spotlight.
Should be very interesting.
Right now here, we've got a duel of our own going. IPFW leading game 1, 27-23. They have the serve in Ryan Staley. And let's see if they can apply the knockout punch here in game 1. Milkert. Set it, dug it. Nice block by Ruiz. Dug out by Lance. Ruiz, combination block and kill. The big right mid of his gets the point, and it's now 28-23.
Great hang time by Ruiz in the middle of the fly swat that time. Point IPFW.
Good serve by Staley. Milkert. Nice block by Ruiz. And now we are at game point.
Ryan Staley, a lot of heat behind his jump serve here tonight. Handcuffing the serve receivers for Quincy.
Milkert. Dug out by Dreisbach. Santiago going to set up Bellman. And the freshman puts it away for the game. Nice set, Santiago setting up the freshman Nick Bellman. And IPFW wins game one by a score of 30-23. Teams will change ends. We'll get ready to go with game two in a couple of minutes, but let's take a break right now. IPFW wins game one, 30-23, and you're watching IPFW volleyball right here on College 56 Sports.
David Young has been a professor of psychology at IPFW for over 2 decades. His clinics offer undergraduate students an opportunity they would never see at most large universities.
For some students, the actual one-on-one counseling experience is just what they need. And they're made for it. It's like a hand in glove.
His students can find their forte of study early in their academic career and gain field knowledge that is invaluable to psychology.
There is no substitute for real first-hand experience.
While Young's first interest was in psychology, he quickly found that teaching offered him a reward that no other profession could.
Every student is so special and so unique. They interest me. And it's the same with my patients. They're all so special and so unique that I find every time a new person walks in my door, absolute fascination.
This has been an IPFW Faculty Minute. The right school, right here, right now.
I wanted to study engineering so I could get a better job without giving up the job I've already got.
Of course, getting a degree without going into debt was pretty high on my list, too.
And I wanted the kind of education that I could only get in smaller classes with the professor's full attention.
IPFW offered me all of that. And the Purdue engineering degree is going to look pretty good on my resume.
Going to IPFW is the best choice I ever made.
IPFW, the right school, right here, right now.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW. Mike Maas, Ryan Perot with you. Game one of our best-of-5 match in the books, and it goes the way of the blue and white, 30-23. Mr. Perot, the numbers on game one, please.
IPFW, 41% hitting percentage compared to 29% for Quincy. But I think the difference, the two categories that stand out for IPFW were the digs. They outdug Quincy in game one, 10-7. And they also had 3 service aces to none for Quincy. A lot of pressure by the IPFW servers. A couple aces there at the end by Ryan Staley and Angel Ruiz as well.
I want to remind you, this telecast of IPFW men's volleyball is brought to you in part by Pizza Hut at the Marketplace of Canterbury, featuring the After the Game buffet. We saw a shot a few moments ago of some members of the crowd, and some of those members were the members of the women's basketball team. And they've got their home finale tomorrow here at the Gate Sports Center at 1 o'clock against Lipscomb University from Nashville, Tennessee. And Ryan and I will be back to bring you the action for that contest. And again, tomorrow night, we're doing triple duty this weekend. We've got more volleyball tomorrow with Lewis University coming to town. So stay tuned here to College 56 Sports for the best in NCAA athletic competition. Game two underway. IPFW with the serve. And right off the bat, point Dons. Josh Sanders with the serve. 6'7" senior out of Racine, Wisconsin.
Nice serve by Sanders.
Defensive return by the Hawks. Let's see if the Dons can take advantage of it. Staley with a nice kill.
Nice transition there by the Mastodons. Angel Ruiz running behind the setter that time. Froze Barreto in the middle for Quincy. Open up one-on-one on the outside for Staley.
Service ace to Sanders.
Great line serve by Josh Sanders. He's improved that area dramatically over the last couple of years.
I think it's the first time all year the Duns have gotten off to a 3-0 start in a game. Not to jinx them, but I did. Point, Quincy. Solid kill by Daniel Lantz, the 6'6 freshman out of Stockholm, Sweden. And now James Milkert, the 6'3 setter from Elmhurst, Illinois, with the serve. Santiago setting up Dreisbach. Nice kill by the freshman Mitch Dreisbach, and he's improved as we've been going along on the season.
Continues to improve every time we see him. Spends a lot of time in practice working on his game, both defensively and offensively.
Point to the Dons.
That'll count as a service ace. The let serve and play that time.
Take them any way you can get them. 5-1, IPFW out to the quick early lead here in game 2. They won game 1, 30-23. Milkert sets up Barreto, and the change of pace return spells point for Quincy.
You can just see the effort is there tonight for IPFW. Looked sluggish last weekend, but it's here. They're playing with a high intensity, and good things are happening on their side of the court.
Terzinski serving for the Hawks. And it is point, Quincy. Perhaps a touch of a mix-up between Staley and Ruiz.
That's set a little too high for Angel Ruiz that time, running a little inside shoot set. Ball just sailed over his fingers.
Bellman saving it. Santiago setting it for Dreisbach, and a nice block by Fernando Barreto. And all of a sudden, that 5-1 lead is evaporated to 5-4.
That's what I'm sure head coach Arnie Ball would like to see cut out of IPFW's play. After one area, come right back, you hit a ball right into the bottom of the net. See if they can cut out giving up points in groves.
Nice miss hit by, I don't know if it's a miss hit, but a change of pace. Ryan Staley has been pounding some smoke, and that time he took something off there and got the point.
Wild cut shot that time. Lands on the Quincy side of the court. Ryan going into the crowd almost.
But he commits the service error and gives the point right back. It's now 6-5. Volleyball with the lead. Hawks with the serve. Float serve by Barreto. Santiago setting up Bellman. And that ball handcuffed Lance at the net.
Nick Bellman sneaking it through for his 4th kill, hitting 60%.
The lead is 2, 7-5. Angel Ruiz with the serve for the Dons. Milkert setting up Lance. Play on. Good dig by the Hawks. Santiago. Point Hawks. Solstrom with a good block, denying Santiago the kill. It's now 7-6. Hawks trail by 1. Daniel Lance to serve. Ruiz with a solid kill. That brought Quincy coach Tim Kolthoff off the bench.
But a back row violation is going to be called. Tim Koth had it right. Angel Ruiz that time as a back row attacker, you have to stay behind the 3-meter line or 10-foot line to attack the volleyball above the net. That time Angel was above the 3-meter line.
Instead of an 8-6 Don lead, we're tied at 7. Good dig by Milkert.
Oh, nice wipe shot.
Solstrom gets credit for the kill. Quincy now in the lead at 8-7.
For Libero that time with a nice bump set. When the Libero is in front of the 3-meter line or 10-foot line, he has to bump set the ball. He can't play the ball with his hands.
Santiago setting up Ruiz, and he's long. He thought that perhaps Solstrom touched it, but the officials say no. Now Quincy's up by 2, 9-7, when IPFW was up a few moments ago, 7-5. Lance, service error. Stops the run at 4. And brings IPFW to within 1 at 9-8. Now, Dennis Santiago, the so-called freshman southpaw with the serve. Nice dig by Santiago. Sanders setting up Dreisbach. Dug out by the Librero. Santiago setting up Dreisbach. And it's wide. Point Hawks.
That set was a little too wide by Santiago for Dreisbach to get a good quality swing. He cut it wide. Hitting error on part of IPFW. 11 now in the match.
Stefan Sostrom, as we said, a 6'5" senior out of Hestra, Sweden with the serve. Santiago going to set up Bellman, and the freshman Nick Bellman has a nice kill.
Bellman has done a nice job switching positions from libero to an outside hitter.
10-9, I'm sorry, Ryan.
He has to get out of that defensive mode and get into that offensive mode, and he's shown that tonight.
Point Dons as Lance's kill attempt was thwarted at the net. And we are now tied at 10 in game 2. Again, IPFW won game 1, 30-23. Nick Bellman to serve. Milkert setting up Tersinski. And Brian Tersinski with a bullet.
Net violation called that time on Josh Sanders. Takes that nice dig away.
Hawks up by 1, 11-10. Paul Johnson, the big 6'10" senior with the serve. And nice kill like that time.
Josh Sanders with a little front slide that time, going in between the setter and the blocker defensively. Nice kill for Sanders. He's got 5.
We're tied at 11. Sanders floats, serve, and Quincy didn't know where it was going.
Second ace for Josh Sanders. He loves that line serve. Handcuffing the libero, Jeff Puchel, number 10, in black. Good serving by Sanders here at the line. Goes right back at him.
Milkert setting up Solstrom, dugouts. Santiago Ruiz sets up Dreisbach to change of pace. Dug out by the Hawks, and they set it back defensively. Santiago to Ruiz, and it's point IPFW. Angel stuck it right in Tersinski's gut, and Brian couldn't do anything with it.
I like IPFW's transition game tonight. Dennis Santiago, give him credit. I like his set selections, finding the right people in the right times.
Dons by 2. Lance dug out by Santiago. Overplay. IPFW puts it away.
Santiago leads IPFW in digs. He's got 5 so far tonight. He's 10th in the conference. Just under 2 per game.
Service error by Sanders makes our score 14-12 in favor of IPFW. Now James Milkert, the senior, will serve for Quincy. Service ace. Serve handcuff Dustin Sherman.
Great serve there by Milkert. In between the seam of Bellman and Sherman.
Serving again. Santiago to Ruiz. And Ruiz makes our score 15-13 in favor of IPFW. The mandatory break comes just fine time. We'll take a break as well. Again, 15-13 our score. Dons on top. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
Hi, I'm Jeanette Liu. Join me for IPFW Up Close Sundays at noon on College Access Channel 56. Topics range from student and faculty research and new courses being offered to summer camp opportunities for area children. You'll also hear profiles of new and visiting faculty, university events, and business news you can use. That's IPFW Up Close Sundays at noon on College Access Channel 56.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center on the campus of IPFW. Mike Maas, Ryan Perot with you. Midway point of Game 2 of our best-of-5 match. And IPFW on top 15-13. Ryan, I know that you're looking forward at the mandatory 10-minute break between Games 2 and 3. After we watch the IPFW dance team perform, you're going to get a chance to visit with another member of the IPFW volleyball team that unfortunately cannot play, and that's John Thompson.
John Thompson, and I'm sure he'll have a lot to say in regards to how the match is progressing and, of course, how the season will unfold with Jeff Petak and Mats Biszewski on the injured list.
Fernando Barreto with a kill, gets the Hawks back in line. They're now trailed by 1, 15-14. And Brian Tursinski will serve. Chance to tie it up. Santiago setting up Dreisbach, and a nice block by Stefan Solstrom. Solstrom at 6'5". Got some jumping ability, and he ties this game up at 15 apiece.
Serve was long. Tim Koff, head coach for Quincy, last time out, providing his players with some words of inspiration. Almost a must-win for Quincy. You don't want to go down 2-0, especially on the road against IPFW.
Staley with a service error, a little bit too strong in that serve. And we are tied once again at 16. Fifth tie here in game 2. Dreisbach slams it, and that ball came right at us. I don't mind saying I ducked a little bit.
Nice flinch.
Yeah, when you get to be my age, Lord knows what happens.
That was great reaction. You almost dug that ball, Mike.
Fleeting thought of yesteryear. Ruiz serves. IPFW up 17-16. Whoa, good dig by Tursinski. Milkert setting up Lance. A little strong on Lance. The kill, and it's point Dons.
Gorgeous dig by number 16, Brian Tursinski, for Quincy on the overpass shot by Josh Sanders. Fortunately, they weren't able to capitalize with a hitting error there by Daniel Lance.
Ruiz with the jump serve. Milkert.
High and
set
hard
up Johnson.
off the hands.
Point Quincy.
Nice shot by Paul Johnson that time. As a right-hander, he gives that different approach. He's got what they call goofy-footed. He comes left, right, left. Usually right-handers, when they hit, they go right, left, right, left.
Nice kill by Bellman. And I think Dennis Santiago was on his game tonight in terms of setting up his teammates.
Santiago, 24 set assists tonight. IPFW as a team has 26. James Milkert, on the other hand, for Quincy, only has 13.
Nice shot by Bellman, taking advantage of the short hit. And the lead is now up to 3 at 20-17.
Huge disparity between the setters. Santiago 24, Milkert 13.
Error on the part of Dennis Santiago, however, a little bit too strong with that serve. Point brings the Hawks within 2 at 20-18, and Solstrom will serve.
The blocking story has been very quiet for both teams. IPFW has 2 total team blocks, Quincy 1.
Sanders strong on the kill attempt, and now it's 20-19. And with this rally point scoring, Ryan, the game can change so quickly on every serve.
Absolutely. It's all about a game of momentum, and you want to cut down on your errors, especially in rally score when they add up.
Nice block that time by Johnson off a Ruiz kill attempt.
This is a tight set.
Bellman.
Ball's out of bounds. Nick Bellman hit that ball off the antenna. Tight set there by Josh Sanders, who had to step in to set the second ball when Santiago dug it.
We're tied at 26 ties in this second game. Santiago setting up Bellman. Good block by Tursinski, and the Hawks are going to get credit for the point on a lift. Mistake on the part of IPFW.
A lift call, and head coach Arnie Ball doesn't like that call.
And he decides to call a timeout. You too can participate in the excitement of Mastodon Athletics by joining the Royal Dons Athletic Association. The Royal Dons is IPFW's official athletic booster organization. Members enjoy benefits such as priority seating at IPFW sports events, visits by the coaches, and food and refreshments in the hospitality room. For more information about the Royal Dons, call 260-481-6643 or write to Royal Dons Athletic Association, 2101 East Coliseum Boulevard, Fort Wayne, Indiana, 46805. Well, head coach Ernie Ball wasn't very happy with the call on that last point.
Wasn't happy with the call, and it was a coverage play that came off the hands rather quickly, and perhaps Lauren Gieber thought it was caught in the hands for a little bit, so he called the lift, and that's how it stands.
Quick look at the numbers here in game 2.
Hitting errors starting to add up for IPFW a bit. They have 14 compared to Quincy's 7, but overall they're playing really well. They're out digging Quincy 14-11. They're out blocking Quincy 2-1, and they're also out serving Quincy as well.
And as well as this Quincy team has served, that's a little surprise. Nice play. Short set by Santiago to Sanders. The senior from Racine ties it at 21. Bellman to serve. Milkert setting up Terzinski. Good kill by Brian Terzinski.
Sharp cross-court kill that time by Terzinski, starting to fire up his troops.
22-21, Quincy leads game 2. IPFW won game 1. Dreisbach. He's starting to come a little bit of age as well.
Dreisbach now 4 kills. He does have 3 errors. Ruiz leads IPFW in kills with 9. Nick Bellman has 7. And Josh Sanders 6.
Milkert setting up Terzinski. Staley digs it, but they're going to call a point. Quincy anyway on a lift.
Lift call that time on Ryan Staley.
In a way, you almost can't blame him. Terzinski hit a bullet and a little bit of self-defense.
IPFW now starting to question a lot of the refereeing calls by Lauren Gebert up top. You're going to have to stay focused on the volleyball match.
Angel Ruiz was focused that time as he gets credit for the kill. And we're tied at 23. Again, we play to 30, have to win by at least 2. Here in games 1 through 4. Oh, good set, reverse set by Milkert. Barreto took advantage of it.
Great one-handed set by James Milkert a la Jose Quinones of Penn State. Nobody up for Barreto, and he just spanked that one to the floor.
Terzinski with a jump serve. Santiago sets up Ruiz. That's blocked by Barreto. Another block by Barreto, but this one is wide. Santiago put some heat on that one. And once again, we are tied, this time at 24.
Look for Quincy to start keying on Angel Ruiz out of the middle for IPFW. See if they can force IPFW in making some errors from the outside.
Nice kill by Lance. Left-hander hammers it home. For quite some time now, Ryan, IPFW has had to play catch-up. Down by 1, having to tie it. Down by 1, having to tie it.
But they are playing well. So it's a nice seesaw affair. Both these teams pretty much evenly matched.
And a good block by Lance makes it 26-24. Hawks now up by 2.
In the conference, if you take a look at the conference statistics, Quincy is 5, IPFW 6 in most of the categories. So very even matchup, and the match has played out that way.
And another point for Quincy on a miss hit.
Couple of key errors, Mike, late here in game 2, giving a 3-point cushion to the Quincy Hawks.
Timeout called. We'll take one as well. 27-24 our score. Hawks on top. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
I wanted to study engineering so I could get a better job without giving up the job I've already got.
Of course, getting a degree without going into debt was pretty high on my list, too.
And I wanted the kind of education that I could only get in smaller classes with the professor's full attention.
IPFW offered me all of that. And the Purdue engineering degree is going to look pretty good on my resume. Going to IPFW is the best choice I ever made.
IPFW, the right school, right here, right now.
Back here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center, game 2 right now favoring the visitors from Illinois. The Quincy Hawks lead IPFW 27-24, trying to square this match at a game apiece. And we talk about momentum, and we've seen it in enough matches this year so far, Ryan. Big difference between going to the mandatory 10-minute break down 2-0 or square at 1.
Absolutely. And what's cost IPFW the last couple points has been a couple miscommunication plays. A bad pass here, a couple balls at the net, missed coverage. And that's why Quincy has a 27-24 lead, looking to even this match at a game apiece.
It'll be Fernando Barreto, the 6'7" junior out of Moringa, Brazil, with the serve for Quincy.
And a nice jump floater.
Bellman has to set it up, and Dreisbach with a defensive return. Milkert to Johnson, and Johnson at 6'10", no problems putting that one away.
Johnson 4 kills, he's hitting 50%.
His jump floater handcuffing the libero for IPFW, Dustin Sherman. And service error came at the right time if you're an IPFW fan, as that cuts the lead to 3. Now it's 28-25. Hawks on top. Angel Ruiz to serve for IPFW. IPFW is going to either have to stuff block a ball or dig a ball here, transition. Lance dug out by Bellman. Santiago going to set Bellman up. A good block by Johnson and Solstrom. Or dig, I should say. And IPFW comes away with the point. That's what the doctor ordered right there. A good serve to start off with. I was going to mention also they need a good serve from Ruiz. He's the best server. He wouldn't disappoint, but especially when you're down here in Raleigh Store, you got to block and dig some balls. Get some free points. Johnson dug out by Dreisbach. Sanders going to set up Ruiz. That's a touch off the hands. Nice play by Angel Ruiz. And 2 points back to IPFW. Cuts the lead to 1, 28-27. As the teams take a timeout, we invite you to follow the Volleyball this year on Wednesday and Friday evenings as IPFW head volleyball coach Arnie Ball and assistant coach Mark Franke talk college volleyball and more. And believe me, it's more. That's the Arnie Ball Show, Wednesday evenings at 9:30 and Friday evenings at 5:30 right here on College 56. What are you saying? What are you implying there, Mike? Well, when they did their show this week, maybe I got carried away because I compared them to the comedy team of Abbott and Costello. In all sincerity, they are a joy to watch, and you really need to tune in and watch the show because Arnie and Mark have a unique relationship, and they discuss IPFW volleyball as nobody else can. So tune into the Arnie Ball Show. Back we tune into right here, live volleyball. 28-27. Dons trailed by 1. Ruiz with the serve. Milkert setting up Lance. And the southpaw gets credit for the kill, and all of a sudden now it is game point for Quincy. Dreisbach was in the right position for IPFW. Unfortunately, he wasn't low enough to play that ball. Game point opportunities now for Quincy. Lance with the serve. Santiago setting up Ruiz. Dug out by Tersinski. Milkert sets up Solstrom. And they're going to give Quincy the point. What a dig by number 16, Brian Tersinski, to keep that play alive for Quincy. Net violation called on IPFW gives it the game to Quincy, and now it's tied 1 apiece. Again, yes, you're right. Teams tied at 1. IPFW wins game 1, 30-23. Quincy comes back and wins game 2, 30-27. And as we say, we're getting ready. While the teams head to the locker room for the mandatory break, we're going to invite you to join the IPFW dance team. And then after the dance team, Ryan Perrott will be talking with John Thompson. And that ought to be an interesting interview.
Now listen up. You don't care for me, I don't care about that. Got a new fool, I like it like that. I have only one burning desire. Let me stand next to your fire. Let me stand next to your fire. Next to your fire. Stand next to your fire. Let me stand next to your fire. Next to your fire. Stand next to your fire. Listen up. Don't be acting so crazy. You say your mom at home, it ain't my concern. Just obey with me, and you won't get burned. I have only one itch and desire. Let me stand next to your fire, baby. Let me stand next to your fire. Next to your fire. Stand next to your fire. Let me stand next to your fire. Next to your fire. Stand next to your fire. Let me stand next to your fire. Let me stand next to your fire. Next to your fire. Let me stand next to your fire. Oh, baby, next to your fire.
The IPFW dance team, coached by Brittany Coughlin. Ladies and gentlemen, the excitement doesn't stop here. Next up, Harris Elementary.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center on the campus of IPFW, where after 2 games, IPFW and Quincy are tied at 1 game apiece. I have the pleasure of interviewing my good friend and IPFW member, John Thompson.
Thank you very much, Rock.
How are you,
It's a pleasure.
JT?
Absolutely great. Thank you.
First question a lot of people ask me about in regards to you is why you are not playing volleyball for IPFW.
Well, unfortunately, there was a discrepancy with my athletic eligibility with Division I. When I transferred here, we were still Division II and did have eligibility in that. But because I did go to a junior college, with Division I, it limits your time as far as a Division I player. And unfortunately, mine was up.
Is there a chance for you ever to get that back?
Unfortunately not, which is fine, though, because I've taken up with Arnie Ball as the assistant student grad coach or whatnot, which is great because I get to hang out with the team, play with them, try to help them out, show them any experience that I have, which is great.
We go to practice every single day. What is your thoughts on the match so far?
Well, I'll tell you what, the guys have a lot more heart than they've had that I've seen in the last couple games, only for the fact I think they realize that they're a lot better team than they're showing not only our fans here, but wherever they may be. And I think as things are going on, as games are going and whatnot, they're starting to realize that their potential for being good is there. And just a little more oomph, a little more maybe time to have them calm down, because we do have a young squad, especially out there playing right now. And I think once everyone seems to calm down and relax a little bit, we have a real good chance of being good.
We practice every single day with the team.
Right.
As the team,
some of the greatest days, by the way.
Do you think the team has come around after the injuries to Jeff Pitak and Matt Zbyszewski?
I think the team was kind of had the deer in headlights syndrome for a while. They felt a little bit like, we lost players that are Division I All-American players, and what are we going to do without them? But I think they're starting to realize that even though they may not be there, that the heart of the team is still there, and that's all that matters.
Angel Ruiz has been performing like an All-American all year.
Wow.
He leads IPFW tonight. He's got 11 kills.
Right.
Come on his performance and how much he has improved from last year to this year.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think finally Angel has relaxed. I think that coming in here behind Hector Soto, behind such great names as Jorge Relat and Pepa Relat, Norman, that I think that he's worried at the Puerto Rican connection he has to be 5 times better than the next player. And I think that now he's starting to realize that not only is he 5 times better than the next player, but he's relaxing in the fact that, he knows he's here to play, and he's doing a good job, so that's all that matters.
What does IPFW have to do from here on out for the rest of the season to continue to get better and be a contender for the MIVA?
Wow, that's a great question. I think what they have to do from here on out is just have a good time. Realize this game is all about love. And the more they love it, the more they have a good time, the more they realize that, they're a good team, they're competitive, they're decently big for their size, and as long as they come out with the heart that not only the alumni, but the coach himself has, I think it could be a very scary team.
Finally, I know you don't play for IPFW, but in your off-season, being from Huntington Beach, California, you do play beach volleyball. In fact, Scott Lane, who I used to have the opportunity to play with, and you played with him in junior college. He's out there getting ready for the AVP. Tell us about your beach volleyball endeavors.
Well, hopefully if all goes well, this summertime I'll be playing in the AVP with some of the top professionals in the world, probably with Scotty, a couple other guys that I do know out there. And my aspirations are to make it to the 2004 Olympics. That's my goal for the next 4 years. I have a lot of chance, a little bit of luck. I think that a lot of work, a little bit of luck. I tell you, I think that you'll be seeing me out there with the red, white, and blue.
Well, I know from coming to practice every single day with you that almost no one works harder than you in the gym. So
Rock,
you'll have a lot of success.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Thanks for the interview, buddy.
It was my pleasure. Thanks a lot.
John Thompson, student assistant for IPFW. After 2 games, it's Quincy 1, IPFW 1. Mike Maas will rejoin me after this short break as we preview Game 3. You're watching IPFW Men's Volleyball here on College 56 Sports.
8 years ago, John Knight joined the Department of Consumer and Family Sciences at IPFW. He developed an innovative curriculum which allows his hotel restaurant students to gain invaluable experience.
And that allows the students to get into the community and be an outreach, bringing industry and education together.
His students partake in serving and managing at several area hotels and restaurants for one night through each semester.
I always say Jesus came not to be served, but to serve. And so we really care about the customer and the guest, and we teach that in the classroom, and the students are exposed to all areas of hospitality.
John's knowledge and enthusiasm for teaching gives his students many advantages, including the opportunity to travel.
And we've had students travel really worldwide through these opportunities that are afforded, because we do make some money when the sponsorships are healthy and the dinners go well.
This has been an IPFW Faculty Minute. The right school, right here, right now.
I really wanted to go for an Indiana University business degree.
But with housing and tuition, it really adds up, and the money just wasn't there to go away to college.
And with a 2-year-old, my housing options were kind of limited anyway.
And the truth is, I really wanted to keep my job and stay close to home.
Going to IPFW made all that possible.
IPFW? The best choice I ever made.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. The right school, right here, right now.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW. Mike Miles, Ryan Perrott with you. Our mandatory 10-minute break between games 2 and 3 is nearly complete. Want to remind you that our telecast of IPFW Volleyball is brought to you in part by Pizza Hut at the Marketplace of Canterbury, featuring the After the Game buffet. Ryan Perrott, we're all square after 2 games, so look at the numbers, please.
Well, IPFW dropped their advantage in the hitting department after 2 games. They're now hitting as a team 28%. They have 35 kills, 16 errors, and 67 attempts. Quincy, meanwhile, they've stepped it up offensively now at 35%, 26 kills, 7 errors, 54%. So you can see the error differential with the set differential, 67 compared to 54 in the attempts department, and then 16 errors for IPFW compared to 7 for Quincy. Service aces, IPFW doing an outstanding job serving. 6 aces, 8 service errors. Quincy 1 ace compared to 8 errors. And all the other serves that IPFW has managed behind Angel Ruiz, Ryan Staley, Josh Sanders to put a lot of pressure on the serve receivers from Quincy. Diggs, IPFW 16, Quincy 13. The blocks are pretty much even. 3 total team blocks for Quincy, 2 for IPFW.
Got to look at a replay there of a kill by IPFW. Quincy will serve first to begin game 3. It'll be James Milkert, their 6'3" senior center from Elmhurst, Illinois, with the honors. And before we start this game real quick, Brian, a quick look at some of the numbers. So far in matches for Quincy this year, matches that have gone 4 games, Hawks are 3-0. They get... IPFW gets the point here to start game 3.
Net violation called as we open up game 3.
And one other quick footnote, that Quincy has played 1 5-setter this year, and they lost that one. So it's critical for the Hawks. If they want to win, they're going to have to win game 3.
Let's see how IPFW responds after dropping game number 2, and let's see if the momentum continues to ride on the side of the Hawks.
Tersinski is going to get credit for the kill as he hit a bullet that IPFW could not return, and we're tied at 1.
Tersinski leads Quincy in kills. He's got 7. Daniel Lance has got 6.
Service error by Brian Tersinski, however, gives IPFW the lead at 2-1. Josh Sanders will serve for the IPFW. Milkert for Sahlstrom, and Ruiz with a clean block.
Ruiz, a great stuff block up the net. Trap set very tight that time by Milkert, setting on the outside. Ruiz 6th in the conference in blocks.
Point Quincy that time. Now 3-2. IPFW with the lead. Fernando Barreto, number 1, will serve for Quincy. Sherman digs it out. Santiago sets it up, and Dreisbach puts it away. And that one I almost give the credit to Dustin Sherman for going down as low as he could to dig that ball out.
Nice pass by the libero that time. In blue for IPFW. Tough jump floater by Fernando Barreto.
Dreisbach serving. Paul Johnson. Awfully hard to defend somebody who's 6'10", when your tallest player at best is 6'7".
And also goofy-footed, as I mentioned earlier. That left-right-left approach as a right-hander.
Santiago tried the quick set. Solstrom blocked him cleanly. We're tied at 4 here in game 3.
Johnson goes right, left, right. Just gives you that added advantage as you open up more to the court as a right-hander.
Nice dig that time by Tersinski for Quincy. Staley gets the kill. Point Dons. Could you expound on that a little bit, Ryan? You talk about the footing for the different players. Left, right, left, right, left, right. What's the pros and cons?
Well, usually when you're a right-hander, you like to go left, right, left. It's that nice hard approach as a right-hander. You're facing an angle about 45 degrees to the net. Usually you face your setter when you hit the ball, so you're open to the court. But with Paul Johnson and some players, Karch Karai used to do this on the beach sometimes, and he goes right, left, right, and you square yourself more to the court. That gives you that added advantage. You see the ball, you see the court when you turn the ball, and you get a lot of power behind it. Karch will tell you that, and Paul Johnson hit a couple of hard balls as well here tonight.
Lance gets the kill for Quincy on that play, and our score now is IPFW 6, Quincy 5. And Stefan Solstrom, as we said, he's 6'5" senior out of Hestra, Sweden, with the serve. Santiago to Ruiz, dug out by the libero, and Lance with a nice kill, low, hard, and just inside the line. Brings the Hawks even at 6 apiece. Solstrom once again will serve. Santiago to Ruiz, and Angel puts it away.
Nice pass by Nick Bellman that time. Smart jump set by Dennis Santiago's in the front row. The blockers for Quincy did not know whether or not he was going to attack it or set that time, and chose to set Angel Ruiz, who stuck it to the floor.
Ruiz with a jump serve. Milkert sets up Lance, and Lance puts it away. Interesting, Lance playing on the right side, but being a southpaw.
The left hand, that's his strong side for a left-hander on the right side of the court. When you're left-handed, you want to be on that side.
Ruiz. Point. Quincy as Barreto blocks the Ruiz kill attempt.
The advantage is when you're on the left side, it's your strong side. Usually when a right-hander's on the right side of the court hitting, you have to wait for the ball to get over your left shoulder. So it's that momentary delay in attacking the ball. The blockers are able to read it.
Tersinski with a good dig a moment ago for Quincy. Bellman comes through with a solid kill, however.
Nice job by Nick Bellman there in transition. Nice pass, nice and high. Got himself off the court. Nice hard approach. Puts a kill down.
And we're tied at 8. Santiago with the golden locks and the southpaw serve. Now he gets a nice dig. Sanders going to set up Dreisbach. A little long.
Little rainbow shot by Dreisbach, just went wide. Point to Quincy.
Hawks now lead it 9-8. James Milkert to serve.
That dips in.
Oh!
That ball was in. You're going to call that a ball?
I was ready to call it service error, even with these glasses here, but our line judge says nope. That's in.
That's a good call. That ball was clearly in. Dipped at the last minute.
10-8, Hawks lead. Ruiz with enough juice on it. Lance can't block it successfully. Makes our score 10-9. Quincy with the lead, IPFW with the serve.
And just a comment, as we were talking, hitting is such a technical aspect of volleyball. A lot of things go into it with your approach, your footwork, the location of the set, timing, everything.
I know a lot of coaches, at least when I was younger anyway, usually, like, especially if you're right-handed, likes to sway away from a right-hander hitting the ball goofy-footed.
Santiago digs it. Staley saves it. Bellman returns it. Milkert set it. Sanders blocked it. And IPFW comes away with the point.
Great hustle by Ryan Staley coming over assistant coach Dave Schmidlin, Lisa Horman.
I almost said hi to you.
Almost said hi to me. But it's very technical offensively when you hit the volleyball right and left. And either you get some good matchups that are in your favor and some that are not.
Tersinski. Bellman dug it out. Santiago saved it. Milkert setting up Solstrom. Dug out. Staley saves it.
Pinball defense on the side of IPFW.
Milkert again. Barreto finally gets the kills. Staley unable to block it successfully, but longest rally of the match. Some good digs on both sides.
IPFW picking up their defensive intensity. A couple nice digs by Ryan Staley and Nick Bellman.
Service error by Brian Tersinski ties this game up at 11. And I know it's maybe a little bit early, but you wonder if we may end up going to 5 tonight.
Well, a lot of service errors on the part of Quincy. Nice seesaw matchup here tonight at the Gate Sports Center.
Milkert sets up Barreto, and Fernando at 6'7" gets the kill.
That shot is almost unstoppable. That front slide when the middle attacker's in the right front, he flies away from the setter. Almost unstoppable.
Santiago to Ruiz.
And every
one-handed set.
A one-handed set by Santiago to Ruiz.
We're tied at 12.
All middles love that shot. I used to love that shot when I used to play that front slide away from the setter. Splits the seam of the blockers, so you have an alley to hit the ball in.
Tied at 12. Milkert to Johnson. And a lift is going to be called on Paul Johnson of Quincy.
Very good call by Lauren Gebert.
Gives IPFW the lead at 13 to 12. First time they've led since the 7-6 mark. Dreisbach with the serve. Milkert. Point Dons. Milkert not very happy, nor is his coach, Tim Koff.
Very tight call here. And let's explain that. Angel Ruiz went to block the set. You can't do that. That's why Tim Koff is up off the Quincy bench. But Lauren Gebert called a back row violation because the setter played the ball above the net, while Angel Ruiz went to play it offensively.
Hawks not going to get anywhere with it, rather. It's 14-12 Dons. Lance dug out by Dreisbach. Ruiz, Bellman defensively returns it. Milkert setting up Lance, and it's wide. And that brings us to the mandatory 15-point break with IPFW on top, 15-12. We'll take a break as well as you're watching IPFW volleyball on College 56 Sports. Welcome back, everybody. Mike Maz, Ryan Perot with you here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. Game 3 of our best-of-5 match. At the mandatory 15-point break, the Volleyball are on top, 15-12. And Mr. Perot, you of Canadian heritage, at some point tonight we'll find out the hockey score for the Canadian Olympic team at Salt Lake City, but stay tuned. It'll come sooner or later.
I am happy. At last report, we're losing 5-1 to Sweden. But I did have a good day because the Olympic Committee decided to give Saleh and Pelletier a share for the gold medal. in the pairs figure skating contest, so I'm happy.
Santiago to Dreisbach, and Mitch Dreisbach puts it away.
Can't have it all, Mike.
Increases the Volleyball lead to 4 at 16-12 in the critical game 3. Teams are tied at 1 apiece.
IPFW is starting to play golden right now, especially defensively with their blocking and defense.
Milkert setting up Lance, and it's point Quincy as Staley and Ruiz's block is wide.
What Quincy has to do now is themselves start to settle down a little bit. They've gotten a little erratic after a couple questionable calls. They're gonna have to stay focused and play their game.
Daniel Lance with the left-handed serve. Santiago to Ruiz. And Trzynski unable to dig it out properly, and it's point IPFW.
Ruiz now 15 kills, 5 errors, 35%. Santiago has dished out 37 assists tonight.
Ryan Staley serving. Good, solid serve.
Ryan Staley has served great all night.
Lance long on the kill attempt. Point Dons, and the lead is up to 5 at 18-13. And Quincy decides to call a timeout. Tune in Sunday evening, March the 24th, to see the 1934 classic film, The Man Who Knew Too Much. Alfred Hitchcock's international film debut stars Leslie Banks, Edna Best, and in his first English-speaking film, German Peter Lorre. While on vacation, a secret is whispered to an Englishman who has been murdered. Foreign agents seek to force silence by kidnapping the Englishman's daughter. How will he save her? And the diplomat they seek to assassinate? Tune in Sunday evening, March the 24th at 9 o'clock, right here on College 56.
I saw the Bill Murray version of that, by the way. The Man Who Knew Too Little. I liked it.
A little bit of a difference between Bill Murray and Peter Lorre. A wee bit.
A wee bit.
Right now, the difference in this volleyball match happens to be 5 points that IPFW is ahead by here in game 3. 18-13, we're back to the action. Solstrom with a kill. Nice decoy by Johnson there off the Milkert set.
Nice combination run that time by Milkert.
18-14, Solstrom with the jump serve. Santiago setting up Ruiz. Nice dig that time by Johnson and Trzynski, or block I should say. And Quincy comes away with the point.
The lift called on Santiago when he went to play the ball. Good call by Lauren Gebert. I've mentioned his name way too much tonight. He probably won't like that.
Santiago going to set up Dreisbach, and Johnson with the block. Hawks have run off 3 in a row, and now it's 18-16.
Huge block by Paul Johnson in the middle, 11th in the conference in blocks. Just over 1 a game. Barreto's 14th with 1 a game.
Santiago going to set up Bellman.
And another roof at the net.
Milkert and Johnson brings Quincy to within 1 at 18-17. Arnie Ball says, let's talk it over. We'll take a break. You're watching IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
Since you graduated from college, we haven't seen too much of you.
We know you've been very busy climbing the ladder of success.
We've been watching you on your way up.
And we've enjoyed seeing you put your degree to work.
Now, how about sharing your time with us?
Your expertise would come in handy, too.
You can reconnect with your alma mater through your alumni association.
It's time for you to come back to your campus.
Call your alumni office today.
Things tightening up ever so slightly here at the Hilliard Gate Sports Center, as IPFW had an 18-13 lead, and it is now 18-17 as you get a look at head coach Arnie Ball, the Volleyball. And Ryan, you know from experience when the coach is and isn't happy.
I'm not happy right now, especially with the play of IPFW. But nice play on the side of Quincy. 3 blocks in a row.
Solstrom with the serve. Santiago setting up Ruiz. And Angel Ruiz puts it away.
That one went through the arms of Paul Johnson that time. Kill for Angel.
Badly needed point for IPFW as they now lead by 2, 19-17. And their best server, Ranger Ruiz, with the serve. Quincy with the kill. Jinx Danger that time. Praised him for being the best server, and we lost the point. Johnson, 6'10", serving for the Hawks. Dug out by Tersinski. Milkert with the quick return kill.
Slam dink there by James Milkert in the front row as a setter, right-handed. Just slammed that ball to the floor.
We're tied at 19. Paul Johnson again with the serve.
Overpass.
Good block by Santiago. Milkert setting up Solstrom. Another block dug out by Johnson. Santiago to Sanders. Point Dons finally. Couple of big digs that time by IPFW.
IPFW looks a bit tense. They have to relax a little bit. John Thompson talked about it in between games 2 and 3. At some moments, they just seem to freeze up a little bit, become too tense. They have to relax, settle down.
Big kill there by Fernando Barreto, ties it at 20. Again, we play rally point scoring to 30. Have to win by 2. We played at 30 games 1, 2, 3, and 4. And if it goes to a game 5, they play that to 15. Santiago for Bellman. Good dig that time by Solstrom. Milkert for Tersinski, and he's long on the kill attempt. Point IPFW.
Diggs almost even, 23-20 in favor of IPFW. Defense starting to come alive on both sides of the court.
Nick Bellman, the freshman, serving. Lance on the left side hits it over. Dug out, set by Santiago. Nice block by Lance, however.
That set was too low for Ruiz. Santiago looking for his Puerto Rican mate that time in transition off the nice dig by Bellman. Set was low and IPFW not covering.
Tied at 21 now. With Brian Tersinski, the 6'5" sophomore out of Milwaukee, serving. And serving long. Service error gives IPFW a 1-point lead at 22-21. Almost to the stage. You can't give any points away. Josh Sanders to serve. Milkert to Barreto, and Barreto put it away.
There's that front slide again by the next to middle, who stands next to the setter in the rotation. That front slide coming right to left. Almost unstoppable. Barreto hammers down his 10th kill with no errors. He's hitting 63%.
Dreisbach with the kill. Dug out. Milkert going to set up Solstrom. Dug out by Santiago. Dreisbach wide on the kill on the little tip shot. Quincy Hawks now take the lead, 23-22. Barreto continues to serve. Bellman, Santiago to Ruiz. Dug out by Milkert. Lance blocked by Ruiz. Point Dons.
Ruiz and Staley able to get their hands over nicely that time, stuffing Lance. Quincy doing a nice job about keying on Angel Ruiz in white for IPFW. Santiago's going to have to find another option offensively.
Mitch Dreisbach serving for the Dons. Hawks keep it alive. Santiago going to set up Ruiz, and Angel puts it away.
Nice serve by Dreisbach to set that up. Ruiz, even with 2 blockers up that time on the quick, able to sneak it through.
Lead now belongs to IPFW, 24-23. Tersinski to Milkert. Solstrom long on the kill. IPFW opens up a 2-point lead at 25-23. Quincy decides to call timeout. Tune in to College 56 next Sunday evening, February the 24th at 7 p.m. for the replay of tonight's men's volleyball match with Quincy. That's Sunday evening, February 24th at 7 p.m. for IPFW volleyball right here on College 56. Well, 25-23, IPFW with the lead. As you see Ernie Baugh talking to Josh Sanders, giving him some advice. And I know we commented at the end of last Saturday night's broadcast with Ohio State, the job that Ernie Ball does working with his players, as after that match, he had a lengthy chat with Dennis Santiago, who doesn't take defeat very well, in all honesty, and I thought it was a great move by Ernie, taking the time to instill confidence in Dennis Santiago.
Well, he has to keep, head coach Ernie Ball has to keep the morale of the team up after losing Pitak and Zbyszewski. And he did that last week after the loss with Dennis Santiago, who did take the defeat last week very, very hard.
Dreisbach serving. Lance was dug out by Santiago, but unable to be returned elsewhere. And Quincy posed to within one at 25-24.
Head coach Ernie Ball has had a lot of patience this year with his team. At times they don't play that great.
Lance, Bellman digs it out. Santiago gets it across. Now Quincy digs it. Lance again. Bellman can't get to it. Sherman, I should say. And Quincy is just like that. Scored 2 points in a row and tied it up at 25.
Mark Franke, after the last timeout called by Tim Koff, he says every time Tim Koff calls a timeout for Quincy, they manage to string off 3-4 points in a row.
Santiago for Staley, and it's long.
But a net violation is going to be called. A micro touch, giving point in possession to IPFW. Tim Koff doesn't like the call because he thinks the ball was a mile long. No infraction on the play, but there was a touch call. Dan Zier, the bottom official, calls it.
And now Staley comes back with a service ace. Some people might say salt in the wounds. Get a break and then you really pour it in. 27-25. Dons lead by 2.
Dave Zier, the bottom official, with that call.
Ryan Staley, last year's center, this year's jack of all trades. Service air hit the top of the court and bounced backwards. Makes it 27-26. IPFW with the lead. Stefan Solstrom and Quincy with the serve.
Tight pass.
Santiago to Ruiz, the one-handed set. Successful again.
And the Quincy players are all off the bench, screaming for a net violation on the side of IPFW. The net bouncing a mile high on that attack. I am not able to see who touched the net that time. It was almost a simultaneous contact, but Angel Ruiz bounced that ball into another atmosphere. Great one-handed set by Santiago.
28-26, Dons by 2. Milkert setting up Lance. Point Quincy.
Very animated is Quincy coach Tim Koff. He knows how important this match is. All the players off the bench, but Quincy's got to remain focused on the floor, not worry about the officiating, even though a couple calls perhaps have gone out of their way.
Johnson with the serve, defensive return. Milkert setting up Barreto. Dug out by Sanders. Milkert again to Barreto. And this time he gets the point. And we're tied at 28.
Barreto jamming balls through Bellman and Sanders, tying this game up at 28 apiece.
Got to win by 2. Johnson with the serve. Santiago to Sanders, and Josh Sanders puts it away. Now IPFW will serve for game 3 in the person of Dennis Santiago. Crowd on its feet here at the Gate Sports Center. Tradition on game point. Milkert, Terzinski, point Quincy.
Terzinski off the hands, high and hard. Great athletic set by James Milkert that time, getting low to the floor. Tied at 29.
Welcome to overtime as such. Got to win by 2. We're going to go past 30. Milkert, the serve.
That's an ace.
Point Quincy, and now the Hawks will serve for game 3.
Milkert putting it into his own hands. Great tough jump serve, handcuffing Ruiz.
Most important point of the match coming up, both teams. Santiago for Sanders, blocked by Barreto. Dreisbach Bellman, and it's wide. Point in game 3 goes to Quincy, 31-29. So Quincy now takes a 2-1 lead, having dropped game 1 30-23, winning game 2 30-27. Now they take the all-important game 3 lead, or 2-1 lead. We're going to take a break. You're watching IPFW Volleyball here on College 56.4.
Dr. Matthew Kubik is an architectural engineering professor at IPFW who utilizes his experience to teach his students one-on-one.
So it's really shoulder-to-shoulder learning that we're looking at problems together for the first time.
Dr. Kubik also is the director of the honors program at IPFW. His ability to teach on a personal level allows him to educate to the needs of his honors students.
They want more conversation. They want a closer contact with professors. They want interactive learning in the classroom.
He is thankful for the advantages of a combined classroom of young students and students who are returning to college after years in the workplace.
That mix of students creates a classroom environment that is exciting, that's vibrant.
IPFW, the right school, right here, right now.
I wanted to study engineering so I could get a better job without giving up the job I've already got.
Of course, getting a degree without going into debt was pretty high on my list, too.
And I wanted the kind of education that I could only get in smaller classes with the professor's full attention.
IPFW offered me all of that. And the Purdue engineering degree is going to look pretty good on my resume.
Going to IPFW is the best choice I ever made.
IPFW, the right school, right here, right now.
Welcome back to Hilliard Gate Sports Center, everybody. Mike Maas, Ryan Perrott with you. After 3 games in this best-of-5 match, the visitors from Quincy, Illinois lead IPFW 2-1. IPFW wins game 1 30-23. Quincy comes back, winning game 2 30-27. And a hard-fought come from behind 31-29 victory in game 3. And Ryan, as we saw during the break, head coach Tim Koth of Quincy went over and spoke with our head official tonight, Lauren Gebert. I want to remind you this volleyball match is sponsored in part by Pizza Hut of the Marketplace of Canterbury, featuring the after-the-game buffet.
Well, Tim Koth is not happy with the officiating, thinking in that last game that Quincy perhaps was robbed of a couple calls, couple tight net calls and attacking plays, what so have you. But he knows, as I said, how important this match is for his team, as well as how important it is for IPFW in the MIVA standings. So he's just trying to get an advantage and see if he can get some calls here in game 4.
Well, right now, Uncle Mo wearing black, white, and gold. What do the blue and white have to do to get it back?
Well, they just got to cut down on their errors after 20 points, 20, 25 points. They've played well for the most part throughout the course of each game, but I think what they need a little bit more, especially is their blocking. I don't think they've blocked as well as head coach Arne Ball would like. Right now they're getting out blocked by Quincy 8-4, so especially on the pins and trying to contain Johnson and Barreto in the middle. If they can pick up their blocking game, maybe they can get a couple easy free points and build momentum off of that. Their defense has been outstanding. They're out digging Quincy 25-23.
Nick Bellman will serve for the Dons to start game 4. Milker to Barreto, and Barreto puts Quincy on top 1-0.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Everybody knew it was going to the to Barreto in the middle, back set that time. IPFW unable to capitalize. Point to Quincy.
Milker to center to serve, and he serves long. We're tied at 1.
12 service errors now for Quincy, 3 aces for them. IPFW have done a great job serving tonight, 7 aces to 9 errors.
Dons with the serve. Milkert going to set up Lance. And it's long. Hawks thought it might have been touched, but they say no.
The ball was a mile long by Daniel Lance, number 6. That is his 9th error, 15 for Quincy, 25 for IPFW.
Sanders with the serve. The dig. Bellman going to set up Ruiz on a defensive return. Milkert for Barreto, and Barreto puts it away.
Barreto with the drive there in the middle.
We're tied at 2. Brian Tersinski, 6'5" sophomore from Milwaukee with the serve.
Great numbers for Barreto. Now with 13 kills and 20 attempts, no errors, 62% for him tonight.
Let's serve in play. Santiago for Dreisbach, and a good block by Barreto. Dreisbach saves it. Milkert setting up Barreto, and he puts it away.
Milkert running the middle a lot now. Barreto and Johnson. Barreto has done an outstanding job. The team leader of this Hawk team.
3-2 Hawks lead. Trasinski will serve. And Angel Ruiz ties it up at 3.
Santiago says, right back at ya, as he sets Angel Ruiz in the middle for kill number 19, the match leader.
And I just noticed something, Ryan. In this match tonight, there's not been one player substitution yet by either team. Interesting. Lance with the kill attempt, and it's point Quincy. See, Mark Franke likes to call me the Iron Man for some crazy reason. And these are Iron Men tonight for these two teams because they've been out here all night long. 4-3, Hawks with the lead and the serve. Bellman, Santiago, Ruiz blocked by Johnson. Point, Quincy, 4 hits called on IPFW.
Ball did not clear the net, was not touched by a Quincy player. 4 contacts called on the side of IPFW.
Barreto, serve. Santiago setting up Staley, blocked by Johnson, dug out by Ruiz. Staley tries it again. Tersinski with the dig. Lance off the net. Santiago for Ruiz. Angel puts it away.
Nice job by Angel, now hitting 31% with 20 kills. Great dig. Brian Trzynski has made a couple great digs in the back for Quincy tonight.
Staley with a service error, however, gives that point right back to the Hawks, and Quincy leads by 2, 6-4.
Trzynski has 7 digs. Santiago for IPFW has 7 digs, along with Nick Bellman with 7 digs.
Lance, the southpaw, with the serve for Quincy. Santiago, Bellman, point, Dons.
IPFW passing the ball relatively well tonight as compared to last week against Ball State, when Ball State just served them off the floor. Tonight they're receiving the jump serves of Quincy very well.
Angel Ruiz with his jump serve. Milkert. Oh, the turnaround shot, second time tonight. James Milkert has pulled that off.
Make that 3 times tonight.
Gives Quincy a 7-5 lead. Now Stefan Solstrom, the Swede, will serve.
Milkert 3 for 5 offensively. No errors. There's an overpass. But
Johnson hits it into the net. A little pressure by Santiago didn't help him that time. And IPFW close to within 1.
Those should always be free ball points. Anything tight at the net.
Santiago serving. Milkert going to set up Lance. Dug out. Sanders going to set up Bellman. Dug out by Solstrom. Milkert to Johnson, and Paul Johnson puts it away.
Great fake by Milkert. He faked like he was going to dump that time. Set up the big man Johnson in the middle. Kill number 6 for Paul.
Hawks up by 2, 8-6. Let's serve in play. Santiago for Bellman. Good kill by Nick Bellman. Brings IPFW to within 1 at 8-7.
Bellman now in double digits with kills. He's got 10. Paul Johnson, a throwback to the olden days. That little roundhouse serve of his.
Milkert. Tersinski puts it away.
A lot of heat down the line that time. Dreisbach not even close to blocking that ball for IPFW. Matched up against Tersinski.
5 points in a row now when IPFW having a chance to serve to tie the game. Been denied by Quincy. 5 points in a row. See what happens here.
But Tersinski comes right back on Dreisbach.
Quincy opens up a 3-point lead at 10-7. IPFW backs to the wall. They have to win game 4 to force a game 5. Momentary delay.
A little perspiration on the floor that needs to be wiped out. Nice move by
Or
Tersinski.
an unofficial timeout. Take your pick.
Take your pick. Nice block by Tersinski, one-on-one. He showed angle. He showed line, rather. He's going to block the line and then dove into Dreisbach's angle for the stuff block. 9 total team blocks for Quincy, 4 for IPFW.
Milkert, the serve. Santiago setting up Dreisbach. Dug out by the libero. Tersinski puts it away. Sanders unable to block it cleanly.
Great dig by the libero, Jeff Peschel. Nice overhand dig that time on the hard-driven ball by Dreisbach.
11-7, Hawks by 4. Milkert continues to serve. And it's a service ace. See, ripped one down the line.
Great serve by Milkert on the line. Another ace for James now. He's got 5 in the match.
And the lead is 5, 12-7 for Quincy. Santiago going to set up Staley. Ryan Staley gets a badly needed point for IPFW.
Well, we mentioned at the outset, Mike, how good this serving team Quincy was. In the conference, Tersinski's 2nd, Milkert's 4th, and Johnson is 6th.
Not all bad. 12-8. Don's down by 4. Milkert setting up Barreto.
Barreto has been unstoppable in the last 2 games, especially here in game 4. 15 kills now for him. We'll see his brother, Fabiano, for Lewis, play tomorrow night.
Brian Tersinski, jump serving. Let's serve, and he gets the ace. Again, that rule change into effect last year. Let's serve is in play. And the lead is now up to 6 at 14-8.
Everything going the way of the Quincy Hawks now.
Again, Tersinski with another service winner. Sends us to the mandatory break. Quincy 15, IPFW 8. This is IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
I really wanted to go for an Indiana University business degree.
But with housing and tuition, it really adds up, and the money just wasn't there to go away to college.
And with a 2-year-old, my housing options were kind of limited anyway.
And the truth is, I really wanted to keep my job and stay close to home.
Going to IPFW made all of that possible.
IPFW? The best choice I ever made.
Indiana University, Purdue University, Fort Wayne. The right school, right here, right now.
Back at the Harrogate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW. Mike Miles, Ryan Perot with you, midway point of game 4. And as you mentioned to me off air, Ryan, it's gut check time for the Volleyball as they trail 15-8. They already trail 2 games to 1. Can ill afford to fall behind any further.
Well, we'll see what they're made of now, coming from behind here in game 4 to force a game 5, trailing by 7, 15-8. They're going to have to start passing the ball well, that's for sure. Giving up a lot of aces in the last couple rotations.
Tersinski serving. Staley, nice block by Barreto. Milkert setting up Lance. Dug out by Sherman. Staley with the hit. Lance going to set up Solstrom, and it's blocked beautifully by Ruiz and Mitch Dreisbach. 59 now. We have our first substitution of the night by either team as freshman Matt McCarter, 6'5" freshman out of Lafayette, Jefferson, comes in the lineup.
McCarter playing with a bandaged left thumb. Thinking perhaps there could be some bone chips in there. Nice serve by him.
Milkert to Barreto. Short set by Milkert, and Barreto puts it away.
Well, I got to bust out the line now. He's been at fuego here in game 4. 16 kills for him, no errors, 67%. There has been no answer defensively for IPFW.
Barreto with the serve. Nice setup. Santiago to Angel Ruiz, and it's now 16-10.
Ruiz, 21 kills, 8 errors, 33%.
Another substitution, this time senior RC Arcleos in the lineup replacing the freshman Nick Bellman. And he heads up at the front of the net. Staley with the serve. Milkert for Johnson, dug out by Ruiz. Johnson again. And this time he gets the point.
Overpass dug that time by Sherman. Johnson going high and hard off Ruiz's hands for the tap down. Point in possession of Quincy now.
Hawks up by 7, 17-10. Make it 17-11 as Lance commits a service error.
Tough spot now for Heracles and McCarter into the ball game. Cold here in game 4. There'll be key players coming down the stretch now.
Ruiz with the serve. Milkert setting up Solstrom. Good dig that time. Santiago sets up Staley. Milkert again to Johnson. And Paul Johnson puts it away.
Johnson with the drive in the middle. Milkert running the middle a lot in the late stages of game 3 and now here in game 4. 8 kills for Johnson, 47% for him.
18-11. Quincy by 7 with the serve.
Nice pass by Heracleus.
Santiago with the kill.
Great pass by RS Heracleus. Cold. A pass on the money for Santiago to turn and swing. 4 kills now for Dennis.
He now serves. Team trailing by 6. Tersinski with a big kill. Makes it 19-12, and now we got our first Quincy substitution. It's number 8, Jim Fike, 6'2" sophomore out of St. Louis. Comes in replacing Paul Johnson, and Fike will serve. Float serve, Santiago for Sanders. Josh Sanders gets the kill. 19-13, the deficit now down to 6.
Excuse me, Mike. Josh Sanders has been very steady in the middle. He's got 10 kills, hitting 53%, only 2 errors by him.
RS Arcleus, the senior, serving.
Nice short serve by RS.
Lance. Bullet that Angel Ruiz can't handle. 20-13.
Quincy, sorry, Mike, has just turned it up another notch. IPFW unable to respond to their fury right now.
Let's serve, ball in play. Nice block by Barreto. Santiago, Staley. And it hit the pole, point Quincy. Surprised the timeout hasn't been called yet. It's now 21-13, Hawks by 8. James Milkert, the setter to serve. Sanders gets the kill for the Dons.
Time starting the run out for IPFW. They're going to have to make their charge and make it soon.
Down by 7. Sanders serving. Milkert.
There's that up chuck. Good call by Lauren Giebert. Easy throw call.
Now it's 6. 21-15. Perspiration about to be wiped up by Quincy. Tough situation for some of these players that have been on the bench all match, coming in now and having to serve.
Cold, perhaps a little bit of nerves as well.
Josh Sanders serving. Milkert, the Beretta, nice block by Ruiz. Hawks try it again. Lance, dug out by Ruiz. Santiago, McCarter, right at us. Point Dons. 3 in a row for IPFW, and now lead down to 5 at 21-16.
Nice job by Matt McCarter that time, tooling the hands of the Quincy block.
Milkert for Barreto. Barreto puts it away.
Nice off-speed shot that time. That ball set behind Barreto, tipping it over the block. IPFW defenders were camped in that time. Couldn't get to it.
22-16. Number 16, Brian Tersinski with the jump serve. Santiago for Staley. Dug out by Solstrom. Milkert, defensive return. See if the Dons can take advantage of it. McCarter, the block by Barreto, dug out by Santiago. McCarter again, and he'll get the point, as it was touched by Quincy.
Nice setting by Angel Ruiz that time, giving a quality high ball set to Matt McCarter. Blocked once, but able to go high and hard off the hand. Smart shot by Matt coming off the bench.
Serving, trailing by 5. Milkert for Barreto. You can see it coming.
In fuego by number 1, Fernando Barreto.
Johnson back in the lineup for Quincy.
18 kills, 0 errors by the middle.
Staley. Santiago kept alive
by Barreto.
Santiago setting up Staley again. This time Ryan able to put it away. 23-18, the lead down to 5. Ryan Staley to serve for the Dons.
IPFW see if they can get some pressure with their serves on the Quincy receivers. There's a good serve by Staley.
Milkert lands from a distance. Boy, he put it where Dustin Sherman just couldn't get underneath it quick enough.
Sherman didn't think that ball was going to go down the line. Left-handed. He was almost out of bounds, but a shot by Lance down the line, handcuffing Sherman.
Lance will now serve. Team leading by 6. Santiago to Yercleus. Dug out by Tersinski. Solstrom dug out. And point Dons.
Great set by Santiago in the middle that time. Off the net. Johnson was napping there for Quincy. Didn't think Santiago would set that shoot set to Ruiz, but Ruiz was able to pound kill number 22 to the floor.
I want to think I was saying it was Staley with that dig, the last dig for the Dons. Ruiz serving. Milkert for Johnson, blocked by Sanders. Johnson again, and this time he's long. Point IPFW, and in and out, trail by 4, 4-20. And Quincy decides to call timeout. We'll be back again tomorrow afternoon with more Mastodon basketball action when IPFW's women's team plays host to the Bisons of Lipscomb University in the home season finale. Tip-off at 1 p.m. That's tomorrow, February the 16th, on your Fort Wayne and Allen County College Television Connection, College 56. And then after a short break, Ryan and I will be right back again at 7 o'clock tomorrow night as these same IPFW Volleyball will take on preseason MIVA favorite Lewis with the opening serve at 7 p.m. here in the Hilliard Gate Sports Center. Again, tomorrow evening, 7 o'clock, more volleyball action coming your way right here on College 56 Sports.
That's why you're paid the big bucks, Mike. Volleyball tonight, basketball tomorrow afternoon, volleyball tomorrow night.
I don't know if it's big bucks, but it's more than Canadian dollars. I can tell you that much, and it's a lot of fun, believe me.
Aren't you also doing Daytona on Sunday?
No. I'm going to be on the PGA Tour. Well, here we go. Let's see what happens. If Quincy's able to stem the tide or if the Dons can keep the ball rolling. Angel Ruiz serving. They trail 24-20. Milkert, Solstrom, point Quincy.
That time Santiago floated away from Solstrom. Able to pound the ball on the floor. Sorry, Mike.
Sorry. Solstrom to serve. Yercleus, Santiago, Ruiz. Tersinski and Johnson unable to block it cleanly. 25-21. Again, the lead down to 4. IPFW with the serve. Santiago, time to make a run. Milkert, Tersinski, blocked by Santiago. Sanders going to set up Yercleus. Blocked by Quincy. Johnson, dug out, and point Quincy. Ball went the other way, and Ruiz couldn't catch up to it. It's now 26-21. Hawks within 4 points of a match victory. Johnson with that windmill serve. And a mistiming jump by Sanders gives the point to Quincy. Right idea, but the timing was off. 27-21. Nutcracking time for the Dons. And Josh Sanders made up for it that time. He and Dennis Santiago got in the same page in a hurry.
Smart tap down. Now IPFW is going to have to key. Great lineup here for Quincy in the front row. Barreto is up there, number 1. Number 16, Brian Trzynski as well. And the setters also have number 4, James Milkert. So Josh Sanders, Ryan Staley, and Matt McCarter is going to have to key on that.
Barreto wide on the kill, and it's 1 point for the Dons. It's now 27-23.
See if Eric Clays can continue to put pressure on the serve receivers for Quincy. Nice short serve here.
Milkert, Trzynski, dug out by Eric Clays, still alive. Santiago, Staley with a dig shot, point Dons.
Great dig by Aris Eric Clays. Lip service in the backcourt, straight up. And a smart roll shot. Ryan Staley over top the block for a point.
27-24. Milkert, Barreto puts it away. Short set, big kill. Fernando Barreto.
Josh Sanders thought he would take his power alley that time, coming in left to right. Barreto turning his body at the last moment, snapping it back for the kill.
Put up or shut up time for the Dons. Just down 4. Make it down 3 on a service error. 28-25. Quincy with the lead. IPFW with the serve. Josh Sanders could use about 3 aces right now. There's one. Pure luck, Ryan, pure luck. And Tim Koth says, let's take a timeout. We'll take a break as well. This is IPFW Volleyball on College 56 Sports.
I wanted to study engineering so I could get a better job without giving up the job I've already got.
Of course, getting a degree without going into debt was pretty high on my list, too.
And I wanted the kind of education that I could only get in smaller classes with the professor's full attention.
IPFW offered me all of that. And the Purdue engineering degree is going to look pretty good on my resume.
Going to IPFW is the best choice I ever made.
IPFW, the right school, right here, right now.
We're back, everybody. Mike Maz, Ryan Perrott with you. Game 4 right now. Quincy leading 28-26. They lead in the match 2 games to 1. Big service ace by Josh Sanders. He will continue to serve as his team trails by 2. And an error on the part of Quincy on the return. And it's now 28-27.
That'll be chalked down as an ace. 2 in a row for Josh Sanders. IPFW now has crept to within 1.
If he gets another one here, I don't know what to think. Here we go. Just wide.
Just wide. He just missed the line.
And now we've got match point, and IPFW is going to call a timeout. International renowned glass artist Dale Chihuly visited Fort Wayne recently as an IPFW omnibus lecturer. Mr. Chihuly is a co-founder of the Pilchuck Glass School in Stanwood, Washington, and has his work included in the collections of more than 190 museums throughout the world. Tune in Saturday, February the 23rd to see his presentation on College 56. That's Dale Chihuly at 1 and 4 p.m. Saturday, February 23rd on your college television connection in Fort Wayne and Allen County, Channel 56. Well, this is as far as you can go, Ryan Perrott. You cannot make any more mistakes. You have to win at least 3 points, 2 points in a row necessary just to get it to a break-even 29 all. Pressure on the Dons or pressure on the server?
I think pressure on the Dons. I think Lance is going to go back and rip his jump serve. Pressure now for IPFW. They have McCarter in the front row, Ryan Staley in the front row, and Angel Ruiz in the front row.
Brian Trzynski serving for the match for Quincy. Staley, Santiago, Ruiz blocked. Milkert setting up Barreto. Dug out again, Barreto again. Dug out by Staley. Santiago for Staley. And it's point to the Dons. Stay alive.
All Quincy now has to do is tap the ball to the floor. Matt McCarter back to serve for IPFW. Let's see if he continues the jump serve.
Another match point for Quincy. Service error ends the match. Oh, my word. Match over in an heartbeat. Eye blink. Quincy.
That's just a freshman error there by Matt McCarter. You have to keep that ball in play. 2 weeks now in a row that we've had matches end on service errors. And IPFW falls to Quincy 3-1.
Yep, they win game 4, 30-28. And they win the match, as you say, 3-1. They now improve to 8-3 overall, 2-2 in MIVA play. IPFW drops to 3-4 overall, 2-3 in conference play. Tough loss for the Dons here tonight, as you see the players and coaches huddling up after congratulating each other. I don't know what you can say, Ryan, except take a look at some of the final numbers.
IPFW, 68 kills as a team, 28 errors. They hit 29%. 64 assists, 58 of them from Dennis Santiago. They had 36 digs and 5 blocks. For Quincy, 65 kills, 19 errors, 35% attacking percentage. 63 assists, 54 of them by Milkard, who picked up his game thanks to Barreto and Johnson in the middle. 34 digs by them. They were too short from IPFW, but they outblocked IPFW 9-5. For kills, IPFW had Angel Ruiz had 23 kills. He hit 35%. Josh Sanders was second with 12 kills. He hit 56%. Nice job by the middles for IPFW. Nick Bellman and Ryan Staley each had 10 kills apiece. Mitch Dreisbach had 7 kills, 4 for Dennis Santiago. For Quincy, Barreto was the man. Fernando Barreto had 19 kills and 1 error. He hit 60%. Daniel Lance had 16 kills and 9 errors. Brian Trzynski had 12 kills and 3 errors. He hit 43%. Nice distribution by both setters, Milkert and Santiago. Diggs, Santiago was the match high. He had 10. Trzynski for Quincy, he had 9.
Well, what can you say? This is a learning experience for IPFW. And again, we know it's tough. Everyone knows it's tough when you lose your 2 best players on opening night. It's going to be tough, but it is a learning experience, and it's something that everyone has to realize.
But that's going to start to become an excuse and a mental thing for IPFW if they continue to say that we have our 2 best outside players that are injured. And IPFW was in this match just a couple plays down the stretch that cost them. But Quincy, after Game 3, was able to turn it up another notch where IPFW could not reach. And they won Game 3. They carried over the momentum in Game 4. The big lead. It was very difficult for IPFW to come back. But IPFW was in this match. They just have to learn how to get over the hump by minimizing their errors.
Well, we'll see if they can learn real quickly as they're going to come back here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock to take on the Lewis Flyers. And again, if you can't make it out here in person, please tune in to College 56, and we'll be back for that match. But what can you say? They tried, just fell short, and they go back at it tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, Lewis comes here, and the preseason favorites, the Flyers, will be ready to go. A couple good players that they have as well. We'll see Fernando Barreto's brother here tomorrow, Fabiano. He's a key for Lewis. So IPFW is going to have to bounce back. Obviously, again, another disappointing loss here at home. They played much better than they did last week against Ohio State and Ball State. But again, blocking on the pins, I thought perhaps was a factor. They did not slow down Barreto at all in the middle. And, of course, a couple key service errors down the stretch. One by Josh Sanders that just went wide after 2 service aces, and one by Matt McCarter there, the freshman, serving it into the net to end the match.
Well, it's time for us to go get some rest as we just saw the Lipscomb University women's basketball team come on the court. They're going to get ready for their game tomorrow. That will bring you, again, tip-off at 1 o'clock, Lipscomb and IPFW, and then we're back here tomorrow night at 7 o'clock for volleyball. So, Ryan, go home and get some rest, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Watch the Olympics and cry because Canada lost in hockey tonight. Yes.
I want to remind you that our program tonight was sponsored in part by Pizza Hut at the Marketplace of Canterbury, featuring the After the Game Buffet. We'd like to thank at this time the College 56 production crew, the IPFW athletic staff, the City of Fort Wayne, Comcast Cablevision, the IPFW Learning Resource Center, and especially the IPFW Office of University Relations and Communications for their contributions to this College 56 Sports telecast. This telecast of IPFW Sports is copyrighted and the sole property of the College Cable Access Center and IPFW. Unauthorized duplication, exhibition, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this event without express written consent is strictly prohibited. We hope you've enjoyed our telecast of IPFW Sports, if not the outcome, and we thank you again for joining us this evening. For Ryan Perrott, this is Mike Moss saying so long for now. Again, our final scores tonight. Quincy University defeats IPFW by scores of 23-30, 30-27, 31-29, and 30-28. Stay tuned. We'll be joining Mastodon Spotlight in progress. And then until tomorrow afternoon at 1 o'clock, we bid you a fond farewell from the Hilliard Gate Sports Center here on the campus of IPFW.